Today I'm going to make a delicious tray of nachos using my air fryer. Of course, it starts with tortilla chips. I like the lime flavored ones. Also, some shredded cooked chicken, shredded cheese, and some fresh jalapeno peppers. You can also think about if you want other things to serve with your nachos, like beans or pico de gallo. I made some queso dip that is a great side with your nachos. So to start, I like to prep by cutting up some jalapeno slices. And what's important for me, because I don't like super spicy food, is I have to remove all the seeds. This is the spiciest part of a jalapeno pepper, are the seeds. So getting all of those seeds out of there is number one in importance, and I have a paper towel under here because it's the only way to get them off your hands. Some of the slices I'm also going to cut in half and remove not just the seeds but also that membrane. That's another spicy part of the jalapeno. And what I ended up with was about half of each. Some half moons and some full slices. And then from here, I'm just going to start making my layers in my basket. Now I have a fairly big air fryer basket. It's big and flat. It's about 12 by 12 inches. And because of that, I can fit a half of a bag of tortilla chips on it at a time. So that means I am going to make 2 layers. A full bag of chips will make 2 layers, if you will, of the nachos. So first, I just like to make a nice even layer, and then add about half of my chicken. The idea is not that you have a solid layer of chicken, but more that it is scattered all around so that at least most of the bites that you take of your nachos will have a piece of chicken in them, but not necessarily every single one. I do recommend about a cup of cooked chicken, but there's a lot of leeway there, so however much you happen to have. And then I use, of course, half of the bag of cheese. I'm using cheddar jack cheese, although my other go-to is 4-cheese Mexican. This just happened to be what I had on hand, and it works very well as well. And now, of course, some jalapeno peppers. Now for this layer, I'm using the half moons. And that's because the full rings are maybe a little bit more aesthetic. And I'm saving those for the top layer because this is the part that's going to be covered up by the second layer. And again, I am scattering these around because you don't want one person to have a whole mouthful of jalapeno and hog all the fun, right? So then we just quickly make our second layer. Repeat again the tortilla chips, the chicken, and I'm going to add most of the cheese right away because, again, I'm using those slices of jalapenos. They're kind of a aesthetic element, and so I'm adding the cheese first and then the slices of jalapeno just to make sure they're really visible. Spread them around so that, again, you have an even distribution. And then that last bit of cheese I'll just add on top just to kind of help glue those jalapeno slices in there, but they're, as you can see, they're still very visible. And then this tray is ready to bake, if you will, although we're going to use the air fry function. And into the air fryer it will go. We're going to air fry at 350 degrees for 6 minutes, which is very fast. And at the end of that time, you can see how beautiful this tray of nachos looks. I love the browned cheese. The chips are so crispy. The cheese is melted. The chicken is warm. This is such a wonderful combination of flavors. And of course you can serve it any way you like. I like to just take a bunch of it, really a clump if you will, with a spatula and put it on my plate. I did have those fresh tomatoes all cut up, so I added some of those on there because that's actually a really nice touch of freshness. And again, I had some queso dip that I had previously made. I warmed it up so it's ready to go, and this will make a perfect side for these nachos. Of course, we have to give it a try. So a chip like this that doesn't have a lot of cheese on it is like perfect for dipping into that nacho cheese sauce. But even the ones that have plenty of toppings, I still like to add a little bit of that queso dip to it because it makes it even more delicious. I really hope you give this a try. It's easy, it's delicious, it's probably one of my favorite game day foods. And if you try it, I know you'll love it. Enjoy.